Welcome to Scott Ferrell Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you can tell, we are on location in beautiful Blue Ridge, Georgia. What's missing? It's you. You're not here with me today. So what do you got to do? Pick a Friday. We've probably got 8 more weeks on location here. Pick a Friday. Come on down, hang out with us. I do have an in-studio guest today coming by to tell her story. Why would I have somebody come by and tell their story live? Well, I'm lonely for one thing, but really, it's probably one of the coolest stories I've ever heard. She got up one day and decided she was sick of her life and she was going to change it, and she was going to change it immediately. And I asked her to come by and tell her story. It's funny how you meet people. I'm sitting at a networking event one night. I go for a free dinner, and it was unbelievable. And I ended up talking to her, ended up listening to her story, and I sat there for an hour and a half just listening to her talk. And I said, you've inspired me. Will you please come on my show and inspire others? So she's going to stop by a little later. But I want to jump into my topic today because it's so important. As you know, I'm a coach and consultant. What do I coach people on? Life and business. And you can't take the two apart, so they are intermingled. But lately, I've had a string of ladies who were married talk to me this week about us men, and what we're not getting done. Guys, I got to ask a question. If I've spoken to now in the last 2 years about 1,500 women. All the women are saying the same thing. We, the male gender, are not doing our jobs. Now you're going to ask, yeah, I'm doing my job. I'm making money. I'm taking care of my family. Good. Here, watch. Golf clap. You got one. Okay, that's out of the way. We're not doing the rest of it. We're not being who we need to be. Men. Here's what I'm going to tell you today. I'm going to tell you how to make sure that relationship never gets in danger. I'm going to tell you how to make sure she's always joy-filled, not happy. Happy changes. And I'm going to tell you how she don't get up one day, tell you to get out and go on and find somebody better. Okay? Deal? All right, good. Let's get started. These ladies have told me more than one horrific story about how we men don't respect them. So I'll look at them and go, well, respect's a broad term for so many people. What do you mean by respect? If you could tell your husband right now, if he's sitting right in front of you, and I was the mediator, what would you tell him? What's it look like? Okay, that's a fair question, because I'll tell men sometimes, you need to respect them more. That's what I get. Deer in the headlights. Or the silence. I got no idea what you're talking about. All right, that's cool. Remember, women want to be consulted in life, okay? If I've decided to have a wife and a partner, I've got a wife and a partner. What's that mean? I'm not going to go out and do anything without consulting my partner. The stories I've heard this week are just crazy. Guys going out buying stuff. And when I say buying stuff, I ain't talking about going down to the Five and Dime and buying stuff. We got motorcycles, we got new cars, we've got RVs, we've got houses. On what planet would you think it's okay being married and sharing everything and in a partnership to go out and buy something that's about $250,000 without asking your wife? I can't think of any planet. I know what would happen to me, so I can just assume it's probably going to happen to you. And in that, they talk about, all right, if the guy's going to go out and do all this stuff as far as money's concerned, it means he doesn't respect her opinion, her time, who she is, the fact that she's got her own life, and that God has given her a purpose also. So many times we, and I'm saying we men, get so focused on what we're doing and our purpose and how important we are. Just hear the stories. Wife put the guy through med school, law school, college, master's, PhD, and then as soon as he gets finished, he trades down to somebody not as smart, not as pretty, but a whole lot younger. See, that's a lack of respect. Women bring so much more to the table. On top of that, gentlemen, when you're showing respect, show respect for their sixth sense. They have a sense that we don't have. They got a little something in their belly that we just don't have. Be smart enough to understand to shut it, close the snout when in doubt, and listen. They've got something to say. But if we're so caught up in our own little world, and we don't remember that she counts, and we don't remember all the stuff that she comes with to our marriage, and we don't remember when we were dating her, how wonderful we said she was, how smart we thought she was, how brilliant we thought she was in business, and how she brought something to the home, and how she made us feel better, and this, and this, and this. I can go on with the list, but she could probably break out all of your love notes and then show you, hey, didn't you say this once? Because if this was in a court of law, would she be able to prove her case against you? So respect. Now, with that respect, if we honor them here, we have to honor them when we go out. How many times have I seen couples, countless, I could probably walk down the street right now and run into a couple that does this, that completely demean each other while they're in public. Now, we all know the couples who like to fight while they're out in public, and they do it every time you're with them, and they're loud. Oh my God, they're loud. Everybody knows what's going on in their life. But it's those little things. When we get our spouse out in public, male or female, does not matter, why don't we honor them? Beautiful, wonderful, the best thing that ever happened to me. Let's compliment instead of degrade. That's the biggest form of respect you can show to your spouse. The women I spoke to this week, I probably talked about 10 just this week, all told me their spouses don't honor them in public. What's up with that? Remember something. I'll probably walk down the street today and I'll run across 20 women who are attractive. My wife could walk down and see 10 men who are attractive, 20 men, 30. That means I can be replaced. Because if I'm not honoring her, if I'm not cherishing her, I'm not doing the things that respect her, why should she stick around? Would you put up with that out of an employee? No, you'd fire them. So why hasn't your wife fired you yet? All right, with this goes appreciation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've got a feeling so many wives, as they came in the door and the husband had dinner cooked, the dishes were washed, the clothes were done, the kids were fed, and dinner was on the table, she would think she was at the wrong house. Just saying. Maybe she would, maybe she wouldn't. But that's what I've heard. And now that I've interviewed close to 1,500 women, and I keep hearing that same tale, it's absolutely absurd that I keep hearing that. And with appreciation, because thank you so much more powerful than I love you. Do it the way she wants to receive it. Is it a card? Is it a letter? Is it a hug? Is it a kiss? Is it a free day off from whatever's going on in the house? What is it? But you've got to find something that resonates with her. Now, communication. This was number one this week. It's not always number one, but it was this week. Communicate the fact that you love and care about them. I've heard a lot of guys, and I've heard some women say this too. I told you I loved you when we got married. What do you want out of me? Are you for reals? I told you I loved you. Man, y'all been married 35 years. What is this? You get one on the way in and one on the way out? So the next time you tell this lady you love her is on her deathbed? Oh, congratulations there for making her feel great. How about every day? How about 20 times a day? Is I love you something you can say too much of? Look, no, I don't hear anybody dissenting over here. So no, it's not. And with that, you've got to communicate the physical part. Hugging won't kill you. Hugging's not illegal, and it doesn't cause immediate death. Hugs, touch. If you hit all 5 senses every single day with your wife, all 5, you're not going to have the marital problems that other people have. You're going to be able to solve almost anything. Why? Because she knows without a shadow of a doubt that you are completely invested, which leads me up to the next thing. Take care of yourself. Hey, man, Prince Charming didn't have butt crack. There's a reason. He was perfect. She was perfect. He kills the dragon, pulls her down out of the castle. Don't make her think a crack kills. It's part of you and not a drug deal. Get rid of the overweightness. Dress. Soap ain't illegal, bruh. Take a bath. This is what I heard just this week. And buy some clothes that actually fit. That's great. You want to wear your t-shirt from the 8th grade? That's cool. But you're 55 now. And middle school was like 45 years ago. So do yourself a favor and your spouse. Respect you and her. But the last thing I want to talk about before we hit the break is time. Nothing can replace time. Take the time to invest in your spouse, or somebody else is going to want to invest in her. All right, coming up, I want to talk about what happens to athletes when they don't have plan number 2 when it's all over. If you got a question for me, questions at scottferrell.com, or hit us up on the text line today, 706-889-9700. I'll be right back.
sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited, now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT, now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford.
50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours.
Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95.
And there's several more on the lot just like it.
Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models.
You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings.
Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
El Rey and Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated, and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey and Ellijay.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza, yes to Wing Street Wings, yes to new stuffed garlic knots, and much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu, only at Pizza Hut.
Thank you so much for joining me. Now, don't forget, great romantic weekend. Now that you know what women want, you know how to pile it on, and you know how to make it money, come on down to Blue Ridge for a weekend. You can hang out with us for the show. That'll be the highlight of the weekend, I know. Get you a place. It's a beautiful place. Romantic time at a cabin, little dinner, get you some fun going on. Hey, we'll be here all year. You got to come down and join us. All right, now that I've gotten that off my chest today about all the ladies I've talked about, I've just gotten some text about what I said about Prince Charming. Yes, he did. I'm not going to say what I just said, but you know what I said, and that's what counts. But I want to go into a topic that distresses me. It's athletes. Now, athletes don't distress me on the surface because I was the coach for many, many, many years, but it's the lack of a plan number 2. So many times we get so wrapped up in what we are doing, and I'm saying people now, we forget that injury can come, something can come, circumstances could change, and then we might need to change direction for some reason. When I was advising the players that played with me, they would say, Coach, where should I play? Who should I play for? What college should I choose? Why would I choose that college? What's the most important part of the whole recruiting process? And where do I want to be? And I said, well, let's back this up. You can't go play for just someone. You've got to have so many more things to go with this. What's the degree program that you want to be part of? Okay, I haven't coached in a while. So my first thing was, what's your degree going to be? What's the environment? Who's the team? What's the school like? Would you like going here? Let's say you never play ball again. Would you enjoy attending this school? If the answer is no, don't come here. So that was number one. It never had anything to do with the coach solely. Because coaches leave, coaches change, people move on. It's that simple. But I was dumbfounded now to talk to some athletes who never had plan number two. And you can ask any coach, not necessarily an athlete, but every coach. We realize that each player could be one accident away, a car accident, something happens on the corridor of the field. Whatever it is, circumstances can change overnight. And we always wanted our kids to be prepared for that. And now I hear so many tales of just guys from the SEC, I'm in SEC territory, here right outside of Atlanta, especially UGA, of guys who didn't have plan number two. Phenomenal All-American in high school and college, first-round draft choice, second-round draft choice in NFL, NBA, or Major League Baseball, and they get hurt, and it's over. So in about 8 months period of time, something you've done for 21 years is now over. And the way you were earning your income is now over. Because the NFL does really stand for not for long. Because anything can change. I really learned that watching the show Hard Knocks. But after talking to so many kids, and I say kids, I'm in my 50s, so they're still kids to me, that say, if I could go back and do it again, I would change this or I would change that. So I made a list of your backup plan. I don't care if you're an All-American. There's a reason why you go get that insurance policy. Something could happen. And in football, it's from play to play to play. You get to play football for the next play and for the next play. Now, in basketball, baseball, whatever else you want to play, it's not as traumatic. Although I saw a guy get hit in the face the other night with a baseball pitch. That was, 96 miles an hour? That ain't going to feel good. And now he's got a plate and everything in his head. But it can be over in a millisecond. So what are you going to do? All right, so number one, if you're an athlete or if you're a parent of an athlete, the most important thing you're going to look at, okay, tune out the hanger-on, tune out all the advice, is if somebody's going to give you an opportunity to get something for free, a degree, get it. We talk about this on sports channels all the time, of what the athletes are owed. Okay, let's go back and do some mathematics. Let's say this kid played football at the University of Georgia, Auburn, Alabama. As you can tell, I'm in SEC country. What's that per year cost for that university for that kid? Okay, you ever been to the training table of a football team? Lobster, filet mignon. I mean, no other team gets to eat like this. And this is every single day. All right, so you got $30, $35, $40 meal for every. So see how this adds up? So first class hotels, flight, private, sweats, sneakers, everything you could have imagined that Adidas, Nike, Under Armour made, you get something of. And it seems almost endless for some teams. So we're probably looking at anywhere from $45,000 to $75,000 a season, okay? Let's say 50, just make it. So we got $200,000 invested in you if you stay 4 years. And if you're an All-American, you're not. But your backup plan is you've got this much money invested in you, and it's free. So wouldn't it make sense to get those 15 hours in a semester, go back a little summer school, and get that degree just in case? One of my boys, I love him dearly, I'm not going to use his name on here, but I will have him on the show one day, was an All-American in high school. He went on to star at the University of Georgia. And then one play later, it was all over. Now, my boy decided to get 2 degrees, marketing and business. He's capitalized on that since, and he's probably making more money now than he would have made had he gone to the league. But he was ready. He realized that I've got to take advantage of this moment in time, because this moment in time is not coming back. And I got to be smart enough to realize that even if I get to the league, the average player in the league's under 3 years. That's the average, not the great ones, but the average. You got a 53-man roster. Think about it. How many guys are really making those big dollar contracts? You got about half over here make them league minimum. So you really have to compute that when you look at it. What's the league minimum? I think it's $400,000 now, $450,000. But when the tax man cometh and you pay all the taxes and you pay your agent, I think my buddies, when they played in the league, they brought home 45% of every single paycheck. All right, so if you're making $20,000 a month, now you're right about $9,500. How far is that going to go? It ain't buying diamonds and nice cars and mansions. It's a living. And you have to realize that before you get there. So get your degree. Now, while you're there, you've got to establish something. I realize that your whole purpose has been being an athlete. I get that. I feel you. And I've watched people get wrapped up in this, and I was in that world. So I can see how easy it is with everybody telling you how great you are and what you're going to do and how everybody wants a piece of it. But you got to understand who God made you to be. You got to have your purpose planned out. And it's got to be more than just a ball player. Yes, he gave you the skills that most people don't have. And he's expecting you to maximize those skills on the field or on the court. But he knows you're not going to play that sport forever. So what is it that you do, or how can you take that skill set and actually bless the world? What is it you've got to give back to the rest of the world and teach them? See, that's where purpose comes in, because if you know a purpose, I think I look at David Pollock, who used to play at UGA, and he had a neck injury, and it ended his career in the NFL. Now he's gone on to be one of the top analysts for ESPN. See how that transitioned? He understood that God gave him something else to do. That's got to be you. You've got to understand. I am built for more than 3 years in the league or whatever it is, and I've got to maximize it. All right, make connections. Look at the Bulldog Nation again. I'm using that because it's the biggest school close to us. The Alumni Association and the Bulldog Nation will take care of you. If you were a star athlete, I watched a guy from University of North Carolina, Charlie Choo Choo Justice, make a living off his name his entire life while I was a kid. Great running back, went on to play in the NFL for a short time, and then opened an insurance agency. He was able to capitalize on that name as long as he could. Look at Vince Dooley, used to be the former coach at UGA, won their national championship. He's been here forever, it seems like. Great guy, but the Bulldog Nation is taking care of him. If you become immersed in the people that come and cheer you on Saturday or Friday night or whatever the night is that you play, and you embrace them, they'll take care of you. Let's say your career just ended. Knee injury. There's no way you're going to come back. You've gotten your degree. What's your next phone call? All the connections that you made while you were a player, because that leads to internships. Now I ask kids, what internships do you have set up as a ball player to go and do if the NCAA allows? I get this blank stare. I'm like, let's say you were a regular student. What would you be doing right now? Never thought about that, have you? That's why I want athletes to think in terms of, I am an athlete, I'm a star athlete, I may be an All-American, but what's the regular population do? All right, I might want to take advantage of some of those opportunities. Internships are one of them. While you're in college, go do that internship. Don't look back while you're sitting in the hospital or you're at rehab going, wow, I wish I had taken advantage of that when I had a chance. That's the wrong time to do it. Because within all of this, and your career's just ended, are you willing to do what it takes to be successful? You were willing to do what it took 2 days, spring ball, fall ball year round, in the weight room, the sacrifice it took. But are you willing to do what it takes now to be successful in life? Now, I can't answer that question, only you can. But you'd be doing yourself a favor if you answered that question quickly. So if you're an athlete and you're watching this, and you're a high school athlete especially, remember, it doesn't last forever. I'll be bringing pro athletes on from time to time. I've got several scheduled in upcoming shows. But I want them to tell this story because it's important to understand that. Eventually, this does end, and then life starts. If you got a question for me, it's questions@scottferrell.com, or you can hit us up on the text line, 706-889-9700. When I get back, I'm going to hit your questions, and I'm going to answer the questions from the mailbag.
The summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited. Now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford.
50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours.
Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95.
And there's several more on the lot just like it.
Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models.
You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings.
Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
El Rey in Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium one-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you got your coffee, your tea. You're not sitting in traffic, but if you are, I greatly appreciate you taking the time to listen and not watch my show while you drive around your metropolitan area. If you're in the Atlanta area, I know you're probably in traffic. Yeah, it's still rush hour. It's that time, but we don't have a rush hour here unless you're rushing over to see the show. You got to give Blue Ridge a chance. It's absolutely beautiful, especially for the next 3 months. So if you get a chance, get up here and check it out. All right, I promise the mailbag. Now, if you're just tuning in for the first time, that's great. Let me give you the rules of the mailbag. If you send me a question, it's got to help more than one person. That's it. I know it's that simple. How do you do it? Great. Questions at scottferrell.com is how you email me. You can go by our Facebook page, like our page, and throw your question up there. It gives other people who didn't want to ask a question an opportunity to see yours, and then they get a little more free, they get a little more bold, and they'll send me one. Or you can hit us up on the text line, 706-889-9700. All right, let me get to the first question. This one comes from Atlanta, Georgia. All right, both my kids are in athletics. Okay, my son and daughter both play high school ball. How do I handle this? Question's been addressed before. How do I handle people talking junk about my kids during the game? Well, I can give you some real quick responses. You can fling them a beat down right there in the stands. Not recommended, but it does happen. Watch any tape of any high school game, you got somebody throwing down in the stands. All right, probably gets frowned upon by the administration, and then you're forcing the sheriff department or the police department to do something about it. Probably not the best one. I remember how many people had stuff to say about me as the coach. Remember one game, I thought somebody was yelling at the other coach, and one of my players goes, "Oh, no, coach, that's our fans. They're talking about you." They're saying something about being fired and the fact that I was awful, and how could they ever employ a guy that's as bad as the coach? It's just part of it. Talking about kids, basically every single time I've seen a parent address this to the person saying it, they've shut up. Why? Well, should you go back to that first solution I gave to? They don't want to get a beat down flung on them. I was with a group of coaches one night at a facility watching some ball, and then one of my buddies says something about one of the girls. Okay, this girl was like 6'6", big girl. He goes, "Wow, what a big girl." Well, he said it loud enough for her dad to overhear it. So her dad walks up. This dude's like 7'1". I think he's like 450 pounds. He's the biggest man I've ever seen. Tap on the shoulder. Well, by now, I'm confessing that I have never seen this guy before. And then he may have a big mouth, but I didn't know it, and I've never met him. "You're talking about my daughter." All right, you got a guy about 7'1", 450 pounds. You're going to shut up. He looks like the Big Show. So the next thing you can envision is him choke slamming all of us. But we said, "Sorry, very, very sorry," and we left. How would you feel if somebody's talking smack about your kid? I mean, seriously, they're kids. I still think the greatest gift we could ever give to our kids is nobody ever comes to their games. Little League, what do? We ruin it for them. We try to make it about us. We try to live through them. We try to make it glory days. And then we sit and talk trash to everybody else. Okay, more bad behavior has been displayed at Little League football and baseball than anything I've ever seen. You can go to Major League games and people don't act that bad. Then you get to high school. Again, a lot of parents, it's a representation of them and not the kid. The stuff I've heard at games, being on the sideline, because for some reason they think the people on the sideline are deaf. And the stuff that's yelled at kids, again, let me rephrase something here for you. Let me put this in perspective. It's a game. It's a game. It's 4 quarters. It's a game. And the whole idea of this game is to have fun. So if you're one of those parents that's spouting off all the crap about somebody's kid, if you don't want a beat down flung on you, shut up. That's free. It's free advice today. Let me get to the next question. All right, this person's recently divorced, a young lady. I won't use her name because this is a personal question. And she wants to re-enter the dating world. She's about 40-ish. I like the 40-ish. She wants to know, what does she wear? That's cool. Nothing. Hey, I saw the TV show. It's on, A&E or somewhere? Date Naked. I don't know about you, but that kind of spoiled it for me. You walk in and go, "Nah, I'm good." I'm just kidding. What's changed about dating? It's more of the behavior and not the dress. I tell everybody, when you're going to go on a date, as you can tell, we have the sights and sounds of North Georgia today, so we'll have a few of those. But when you go on a date, what's the whole idea? It's an interview. So what do you want out of this date? Another date, if you like them, and if that one goes well and you jam it and you rock it on, you want another date. So what are you going to do? What are you going to wear? All right, if you have no clue of what you look like and what makes you smoking hot, ask your friends. But if you're going to go on a date with a dude, who should you ask? Yeah. When I was dating many years ago, I would put on an outfit and ask my female friends what they thought. The boys ain't going to give me any good feedback. Most guys got most of their style, their taste is in their mouth. It ain't in what they put on. So I'd ask girls, all right, how's that looking? You think this would be a good date outfit? Ladies, you're in your 40s. You've got male friends somewhere. If not, go to the boutique and get the men working there to tell you something. What looks good on you? I don't know. I don't know your body type. Here's what I can tell you, or you can go see leahkstyle.com if you got questions about this. She is my fashionista for my show. You just want to put something on that makes your body look beautiful. No, none of us look perfect, but we men aren't asking you to be perfect. We're just asking you to dress that makes you look the best possible. Nothing tight. It doesn't have to be tight. It doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be that. We just want you to look like you've got self-confidence. So when you walk in, do you turn heads because you look so good or you look so sloppy? Remember one time, this was hilarious. I walked into a Victoria's Secret with one of my friends. And the little girl comes over. We're looking for something. I forgot what it was. This was years ago. It's back when I was in college. And the lady walks over and looks at my friend. My friend was fairly large. And she looks at her. She goes, "You must be looking for a wedding present." I looked at the sales girl. I said, "Pardon? If I were you, I wouldn't say that again." She goes, "I just figured y'all were in here looking for a bridal present." And I was like, "I think you're insinuating that my friend is too large to shop here. Now would be a good time to stop talking." My friend, I convinced my friend not to choke slam the girl and to go outside while I smooth this over. But she was a beautiful lady. Now, granted, I think Victoria's Secret's biggest size back then was a size 12, so it wasn't like everybody could shop there. But it's got to be something that accentuates who you are. Yeah, I understand people got curves. I got it. I like curves. I like big butts, and I cannot lie. So I'm all in on that. But what's going to make you look choice? From the hair to the accessories to the makeup, and let me throw a little something in here. Shoes. Shoes are important. If you can wear heels, wear them. Why? Dudes like them. We're socialized to like those. There's a reason why every girl in a porn movie has on high heels. Take a note. If you want men to find you attractive, do all the things that men think are attractive. Same thing with women. If men knew what women thought was attractive, then they would wear it. All right, so guys, I'm going to throw you a bone even though I'm answering this. Stop wearing khakis everywhere. Got a book coming out, What Men Don't Get About Women. The #1 fashion complaint, uno complaino, is khakis. They don't fit. They got stains on them. You wear them every single place, and you even sleep in them. So get rid of them. And then, so a splash of color. Change the style. Do something. So if you've come upon this and you've gotten recently divorced and you're trying to get back in the game of dating, the biggest and most important part of this whole dating, other than what you look like, is the fact that you respect you. You've got some self-confidence, self-concept. You understand who you are. You understand your purpose. And that the guy across from you is going to respect who you are. He's going to be able to appreciate who you are. And that lovely person that walked in the door to see him is a gift from God to him. See, that's the most important part of this whole dating thing. So let me rephrase this one more time so you get it. When you go on a date, you want to wear something that just makes you look good. I don't look good in everything else everybody else wears. I'm shorter. I've got 52 shoulders. I wear a 52 jacket. So you can imagine what it's like for me to buy clothes. That's why I wear vests and shirts most of the time, because it's hard for me to buy jackets. But I want you to know that you're beautiful. You can look attractive in all the things that accentuate who you are. And if you keep that in mind when you get on the date, and you keep in the mind that you're actually evaluating the man, things will go so much smoother, and you'll have so much more fun. All right, if you got a question for me, it's questions@scottferrell.com, or hit us up on the text line 706-889-9700. When I get back, I'm going to stay with the mailbag, and don't forget, I got Donna Waters coming up on the top of the hour. She's going to tell her life-changing story. You don't want to miss it. All right, I'll see you on the end of the break.
The summer summer sell down is on at Days Chevrolet in Jasper with huge savings up to 16% off MSRP. Save over $4,100 off Malibu Limited. Now just $19,500. Save $9,500 on loaded Silverado Crew Cab LT. Now only $38,700. Save up to 16% off MSRP on select new Chevys in stock during the summer sell down. Going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
While the best athletes gather to compete, the rest of us gather to eat. Pizza Hut's Big Flavor Dipper is here. Almost 2 feet of pizza with 4 flavorful dipping sauces. Big enough to feed the whole team for a small price, just $12.99. The Big Flavor Dipper Pizza, only at Pizza Hut.
The 50-50 sale is back at Schottenkirk Ford.
50 trucks must go in the next 50 hours.
Shop over 250 trucks in stock and starting as low as $79.95.
And there's several more on the lot just like it.
Yes, 50 trucks must go, and not just Fords. We have all the best makes and models.
You have 50 hours to cash in on huge savings.
Don't miss our 50-50 sales event at Schottenkirk Ford in Jasper. Online at SchottenkirkFordJasper.com.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
El Rey in Ellijay.
El Rey Mexican Restaurant.
Family owned and operated and a local favorite for families, parties, and meetings.
Great prices.
Friendly service and delicious Mexican cuisine.
Patio dining available.
Come sing in Carlos's Cantina every Friday 9 to 1.
Eat in or take away.
Same location for 14 years. Open 7 days at the corner of Maddox Drive and 515. North Georgia's favorite Mexican cuisine. El Rey in Ellijay.
I'm Sheriff Dane Kirby, and I'll stand up for you.
I'm Stacy Nicholson, Sheriff of Gilmer County, and I will stand up for you.
Stand up and speak out. No matter how rich, cool, talented you believe yourself to be, how you treat people ultimately tells all. I am Allison Sosby, District Attorney, and I'll stand up for you.
Introducing Pizza Hut's first $5 flavor menu. Just $5 each when you order 2 or more. Say yes to a medium 1-topping pizza. Yes to Wing Street Wings. Yes to new stuffed garlic knots. And much more. It's easy to say yes to our first ever $5 flavor menu. Only at Pizza Hut.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining the show today. All right, if you got a question for me, it's questions@scottferrell.com, or you can hook us up on the text line. Pop on that phone, throw us something to talk about. 706-889-9700. If you got a question for just me, I am a coach and consultant. If you just want me to handle it, send that to scottferrell.com or hit me up on info@scottferrell.com. All right, let me jump back in the mailbag. All right, somebody was listening to Pastor Alan DiDio the other day, and they got a question. He was talking about the existence of God. They want some Mo info. Easy enough. All right, I got an easy one for you here. Go outside and look around. I'm being facetious in some ways. But I asked this question as an atheist one time. And an older pastor from where I grew up right outside of Charlotte, told me to go outside and look around. I was like, what's wrong with you, man? He goes, no, really. Go stand in your backyard and look around. He said, that was all created. And at the time, I kind of sloughed it off. But the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, everything's got a purpose plan, and it's placed in its optimal position. but I want to give you some resources. One, write these down. Number one is encountertoday.com. That is Pastor Alan Adio's website. He is one of the foremost experts in the realm of creation and apologetics. Encountertoday.com. What they've got is they've decided to make their site a resource. So if you go there, it looks more like a movie site. They catalog every single sermon, and they attach a picture to it. This is what I like about this. The picture actually identifies what the sermon's about. So every single week, Alan does a live broadcast on TV on Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings. And then they have a Sunday night service there in the location right outside of Charlotte. So encountertoday.com. Let me give you one more. RaviZacharias.com, or go to the YouTube channel for Ravi Zacharias Ministries. Ravi spends most of his time flying all over the world discussing, I guess, apologetics and/or just creation with atheists. And he speaks primarily on college campuses. Who's he talking to? Hostile atheists. But I don't know anyone that describes the creation process or describes where God came from and describes what's going on better than Ravi Zacharias. He is my favorite. He's got an amazing story. He himself tried to commit suicide when he was 17, and he had a deathbed experience with Christ, and it changed his whole life. Now he has an international ministry. Between those two guys, I feel pretty secure. Now, if you need a third one, BillyGraham.org. Okay, so there's three right there. All right, Ravi Zacharias, EncounterToday.com, or BillyGraham.org. Those three resources should probably be able to answer every single question about creation, about God, where he come from, who Christ is, and why you would want to be a Christian. All right, let me get to the next question. All right. Dr. David Gruder was on this past week. If you missed it, Dr. Gruder accidentally ended up at Woodstock. He was at summer camp, and the camp director decided to take the kids to a music festival. What they thought was they were going to hear 2 or 3 hours of music. What they got was 3 days of music festival that would later be deemed as the #1 music festival ever. Here's the great thing. We try to beat that train every single week. And guess what? We never get it right. Why? Because they changed the schedule. All right, let me keep going with that. The question for this is, my 16-year-old wants to go to a music festival, okay? All right, let's think about when Woodstock was, late 60s. I remember watching pieces of Woodstock on TV, and my dad saying various things about hippies. All right, let's fast forward almost 50 years. What's changed? All right, let's look back at the 60s when I was a kid. Love, everybody, I think people used to pass the same joint around the whole park. And then you have one bottle and you'd pass it around. There was a commonality, there was a unity, they weren't out there to fight, they were just out there to hear tunes, have some love, peace, man, not war. Now let's fast forward to most music festivals. Who's in the crowd? Yeah, the chemical dependencies have gone up. Back then, yeah, we had LSD, we had this and we had that. But people kept it to themselves. And from what Dr. Gruder told me, he didn't see any people just openly having sex, people openly having drugs. What he did see was people just into the music and into the groove and into the vibe and into what was going on at the time. Because at that time, we were in the middle of one of the worst wars we'd ever been in as far as the death toll. And everybody was so keyed up and the country was so anxious. So Woodstock was almost a breath of fresh air. And to hear his story, I wish I could have been there live. Even though I was so young, all I got to do was see it on TV. But now these festivals, I've been to these festivals. I would not let my 16-year-old son go. Literally, I had this question put to me 2 years ago. And he said, can I go? And I said, because we were looking at doing Metal Mayhem. I love metal, as you can tell. And I was going to have to go with him. But it's not like somebody had to twist my arm to go. But I had to look at the safety. I had to look at the specifics of the arena. And there were going to be 150,000 people there. And my thought was, there's no way I can protect my son. You got people doing drugs. You got people drinking. There's synthetic drugs now that I've never even heard of that they're drinking. I mean, they're drinking. They are drinking them, and they're taking. And there was no way I could guarantee. I'm a pretty big guy, so it's going to take a lot to get me down. But I knew I couldn't take care of him. At Woodstock, from what Dr. Gruder said, nobody was worried about being hurt. They were worried about being in the vibe. Now people don't always have the best attendance at these music festivals. And the thing is, the bands are amazing now. A lot of the venues, just don't have the safety measures that I like. So if you want to go with them, here's the thing. I think we knew we were great parents when we took our youngest child. At the time, I think we took him in when he was 10. We took him to see Styx, REO, and Def Leppard. You know you've done a great job raising your kid when they know every single word to every single song, and they're up giving it, baby. They're knocking out the Dio. They're giving the horns. You know you've been a great parent when they can do that. So if you're going to go with them, now there's absolutely no way I would ever send a car full of 16-year-olds to a festival. Did you miss out the drugs, rock and roll, sex, all those things they can get into? There's no way I'd do that. But I used to take my kid with me, and we went every single summer. And we wouldn't do one show, we'd do multiple shows because we all love the same music. I said we raised our kid right to love rock and roll. And the best show we ever went to was Uncle Ted. Our kid loved Ted Nugent. And from a musician standpoint, regardless of where you stand politically, Ted's band's the tightest band I've ever heard. So if you want a blessing, go see Ted Nugent's band. But for the 16-year-old, mom and dad, go with them. If you're like us, I look like I fit in. So I fit in the crowd anyway. And our kid loves the music, so I just take them. I hope that helped. All right, let me get to the next one. A friend of mine fell into a great opportunity financially. Okay, so apparently they got they're stacking bennies now. But I'm jealous. How do I get past it all? All right, so let me break this down scenario-wise. They had a friend, they're probably buddies. This buddy, actually this is a lady. The lady got a great job, got a great financial opportunity, and is now stacking bennies. She is making some cash. And this lady's currently jealous of the whole thing. She wants to know how she gets past it. That's a good question. Do a lot of people feel an initial jealousy of somebody one-upping them or getting another opportunity they didn't get? Sure they do. It's human nature. You have to get yourself to the point to where what they do has no effect on you. And this is what I mean. There's more than enough in the world for you, for them, for every single other person. And you got to remember that they have their own purpose, plan, direction for their life. And maybe they're on track for that and God's blessed them. Just keep in mind that their success has nothing to do with you. You can't be them, they can't be you. We can't ever trade places with someone else. It's easy to look at somebody and go, well, they're blessed, and they're blessed, and they're blessed, and I don't know why I'm not blessed, and I'm doing better than that, and I'm smarter than that guy, and I'm better looking than that one. That's real easy to do. But it's got nothing to do with you. We don't know what they do when they're not around you, what they're studying, who they're talking to, who they're networking with, who they're studying under, who their mentor is, who's taking care of them, what they're reading, what they're watching, what they're doing. Here's what I do know. If you keep your eyes focused on you and your purpose and your relationship with God, and you do the most you can do for your life, you get to stack bennies too. All right, so it's very simple. You get to stack bennies if you focus on who? You. You cannot get anything great accomplished if all you do is focus on other people. Because if you continuously focus on other things, what comes with it? Jealousy, envy, anger, hurt, disappointment. See where I'm going with this? So if you focus just on you and focused on what your part is and focused on your behavior and focused on your outcome, and you've written out your plan and you understand your purpose and you understand what you want out of life, then the rest of this drops off. It doesn't matter anymore. Because if you know who you are and you know where you're going and you know the dollar bills you want to make and you know the path you've got to take, then their life has nothing to do with yours. The best thing you can do for this person, give them a hug and kiss and go, congratulations. Hey, look at it this way. If they're stacking bennies and you're not, chances are you might get a couple free dinners out of this. Hey, maybe they'll go on a trip and take you. Maybe they'll win a trip with their company and they'll take you. Hey, man, if you ain't got no bennies in your pocket, at least know people who do and they can take you on cool vacations. All right, thank you so much for that. All right, I'm going to finish up with this last question because I'm getting the finger. Can you fire volunteers? Yes, I have. I walked into a golf tournament one time and people were not doing what I asked them to do. And I kept going, fired, 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 get out. I don't care if you are a volunteer. You're still working for me. And if you don't do what I've asked you to do, you're fired. All right, if you got a question for me, questions at ScotFerrell.com or hit us up on the text line 706-889-9700. When I get back from the break, Donna Waters is going to be with me, and she's going to tell us how she decided to change her life and why you can change your life also. I'll be right back.